So, I'm Tiernan, and this is my babysitter, Anna, and my sister, Harper. We're going to be making mole today. So, first of all, you add a little bit of oil into the pan.
And it needs to be a hot pan.
Yes, hot. And then you add the onions and let that cook for about 2 minutes.
Hold on, let's cook the onions. As you can see, onions. Gently.
We're going to let that sit for about
So you can hear it bubbling. So you need to be really careful, otherwise
there's going to be hot oil popping in your face.
and that burns. It's not terrifying. So T, tell us a little bit about mole. What is it?
Mole is a Mexican chocolate sauce that is not that sweet. It's rather spicy. And you put it on chicken, and so it's not what you would call chocolate sauce. Well, you would call chocolate sauce, but it's not what you would think of chocolate. It's not what you would think of when you hear the word chocolate. So
Very delicious though.
So once the onions are cooked,
So they're like browning a little bit right now.
then we're going to add a little bit of garlic, maybe just 4 slices.
Gently, because otherwise the oil will spray up in your face. So how long do you cook the garlic?
Like
A minute.
a minute or a few. And after that, we're going to add the tomato sauce.
So you can just get this tomato sauce at Walmart, and it's just regular tomato sauce in a can, and it works perfect for making mole.
Where's the can opener?
We already opened it.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
That's the last.
Oh, sorry. The tomato sauce is last. So then we're going to add just a little bit of salt.
So just a few sprinkles.
Is that good? Okay.
More.
That's fine.
So it's not a lot of salt.
It's not too much.
Pepper and canela.
Now we're going to add the pepper, right? Pepper, just a little bit.
That's half of a half tablespoon.
So, is this enough for? Just add a little bit of pepper.
About half of a tablespoon. So if you have a tablespoon measurement, which looks like this, then you only fill it up halfway.
Next we're going to add a little bit of cinnamon.
Got it. Oh my gosh, there's great cinnamon everywhere.
Oh wait, you need to take it off.
Un momento, por favor.
Having a little bit of trouble opening the cinnamon.
Make sure your cinnamon's pre-opened.
Okay, so is that enough for?
About the same amount of salt, right?
Yes, just about the same amount of salt. So next, if you don't have
The chocolate.
oh, so next add the chocolate.
How much chocolate?
I don't know. We're just adding
1 square.
1 square of Hershey's chocolate. Okay, so we add that. Next we add the. Next we're going to add the chicken broth.
I got it.
We're opening it right now.
So what do you use instead of chicken?
Normally, wait, what?
Sugar is right.
Oh yeah, and we're also going to add the chilies.
How many chilies?
Looks like about 5.
So you add them directly in with all of the other stuff you've got in the pan.
Oh, and make sure that they're boiled in a pot. So they look almost, so they're kind of crumbled a little bit. Then you add the chicken broth.
So 1 can of Campbell's chicken broth will be good. Half a can of chicken broth. A little bit more.
Just a little bit more of that. Okay,
That's about half.
Give it 2 or 3 minutes.
Let it sit for about 2 or 3 minutes.
Stirring? Do you need to stir constantly?
Yes.
Can you turn it on?
Turn it up.
Yeah, this is.
Hold on, we're having a little bit of stove trouble.
Stop.
Stop.
Turn it.
That's okay.
Alright.
We are having a little bit of trouble with our stove. Harper, you need to push harder than that. So, resume. Okay, so we let it sit for a little bit.
2 or 3 minutes.
It's 2 or 3 minutes. Then we're going to add the pepper. No,
No,
wait,
when
we
you
got-
that one you need to put on the
oh yeah, when we're done with this, we add it to the blender.
So just to recap, first you
add the oil into the pan.
right.
Let that sit just a little bit while you get the onions, and then put the onions in and let those sit for about 2 minutes. Then you add garlic.
And after you add the
we
garlic.
add the tomato sauce.
Wait, are we adding it right now?
Yeah.
Okay,
Here, I'll
so,
help you. Whoa, stop.
okay, so yeah, we're gonna. So after the garlic, you add a little bit of salt, then some pepper. Only Harper, only half of the tomato sauce. That's probably good. After the salt and pepper, you add some cinnamon. Then the chicken broth. No, before the cinnamon, you add chocolate. Then the chicken broth and the tomato sauce. So once this is done sitting for a little while, we're gonna add it to the blender. Are we about ready to add it to the blender? Okay. So should we bring the blender here?
I'll
Should
move
we
the
bring the
camera.
blender here or bring the?
I got it.
So are we bringing it over there? Yes. So are we gonna bring the? Okay. So
Can you see the blender? Oh, perfect.
okay. So we're going to add the.
Right there.
We're gonna add the
Be careful, Jenna.
chilies,
Can you move your hands,
chicken
please?
broth.
Can you move your hands?
Oh yes. So we're gonna add the chicken broth, oil, chilies, onions, garlic, salt, pepper, and cinnamon into the blender. The blender in there, and then
It's not in.
it's not.
Wait, let me help you.
Okay. Make sure you put the lid on, or else you'll have mole everywhere.
So you blend it on high. So blend it on high for what? 1 minute?
1 minute.
When you make like the paste or whatever.
So once you get it nice and blended up into a fine paste, then you're good.
And we'll pour it back into the pan. I'll pour it back in. Is this supposed to be on? And that is mole.
Is it done?
Yes.
If you see that too much heavy, you can put it more chicken broth.
Oh yeah, and if you find it a little bit too heavy, you can add a little more chicken broth.
So that was it. Mole. It took us about 7 or 8 minutes to prepare. And what do you put it on?
Chicken and beef usually.
The traditional Mexican chicken and beef sauce.
Yes.
Awesome. Good job, everybody.